Hey everyone, welcome back. Oh shit. What have we been up to? I've been on a stag do for the past 4 days in Lisbon, so fuck all has been getting done on this bike, and I've lost my voice. Well, strictly not true. I have outsourced a lot of things, so the Vapor Blaster is currently very busy sorting out my frame, getting that cleaned up. That's actually got dropped off at the powder coaters today. Hubs are at the powder coaters. A few other bits will be going to the powder coaters later on. So I've got my engine, which looks like I've seen it at Dexter actually, to be getting on with. So waiting on 1 or 2 parts, but I can get a lot of that engine reassembled. Forks have been stripped down, my new handlebars turned up, which would be cool. Headstock bearings, loads of other bits and pieces have turned up, plus I've been away. Still waiting on 1 or 2 bits, and I still need to order 1 or 2 bits. Had a bit of an issue with wheels. They appear to be a bit of a pain in the ass in the short time frame, looking like 6 to 7 weeks to get my wheels sorted. To get those sorted, they'll have to break down my current wheels. If there's any delay on top of that, then I could be left without any wheels for the show, which is a bit of a pain in the ass. So, pass. I think I'm just going to stick with my original wheels. I might see if I can get a different wheel for the front, like a 19x3 for the front, and just stick with the original one for the back. A bit annoying, it really is quite annoying, so I'll just accept the fact that I won't have the wheels that I want potentially, which is what it is. Not much I can really do about that in the time frame. I could pull the trigger on it, but then if I don't end up getting my wheels, I'd rather, it leaves me in a bit more of a bind, so that's a bit shit. So tonight I'm just going to get this bike, the bottom end of this engine reassembled, once I undress it from this weird cover that I've got on it. And then what I'll do is I'll redo this list on the board with things that we've looked at, and update you on some of the other stuff we're going to look at this week. I am aware I'm yet to turn any of these videos into a diary type thing. Hopefully I'm going to have a bit more time this week in the next few weeks. But these are handy, and we can always look back at them after the fact if I don't get them all done before the bike shed. But let's see how we go on today. I'll rig up this camera and rig up the camera to this thing and get the bottom end of this engine rebuilt. Annoyingly, I'm waiting on an O-ring that goes here. Let's see if we can find it. It's actually this O-ring here. There should be another one, but there isn't. And in the kit, all I have is this funny one, which ideally I don't really want to use because it's quite different. And when you put that in here, it fills with the gasket. So I paid Yamaha £5 bastarding pounds for the privilege of another gasket, but what I'm going to do is I'll put this one in here, and by the time my other one arrives later this week, which goes in the top end somewhere, I can't remember where exactly, but it goes in the top end somewhere. By the time that arrives, I'll get the bottom half reassembled tonight, and by the time that other O-ring arrives, I'll be sorted. Yeah, so set the camera up and I'll just film me reassembling this engine. That's where it goes. So that's where that one goes. So it's like the other one there and there. So I'll get I'll put this on just before the top end goes back on. So yeah, let's get this set up and record some shit. What a pain in the fucking hoop. That was fun. Not. I'm sure there's easier ways to do that, but I'm probably being a spaz. So let's get these bolts on and tightened up in place. So I've got some new ones. In fact, what I might do is I'll take this cap off so we can rotate the crankshaft around a bit and just see how it fits in there. It should be okay though. Absolutely not. Fucking turd. Right, let's have a look at this thing. Easy peasy. Oh, no, back you go. Okay. Oh Jesus, we're recording. Hey folks, welcome back to God knows whatever day it is. Try to finish this fucking motorbike. I started to lose my shit a little last night, just in time for the camera to die, and me to set fire to my entire garage. I wish. No, but on another note, I did manage to get my £5. £5. I did not stutter for this shitty little O-ring to allow me to put this cylinder head back on top of the cylinder block. So the engine's fine, it's moving. I was actually just marking out top dead center there. Just, you can see in here, or not, as the case may be. I don't know if we can look at this or not, but there should be a little mark that comes past as we get to top dead center. No, never mind. Well, anyway, what this little mark means is quite difficult sometimes to tell, because there's 2 or 3 different marks on this little bit. So that means on this bike, top dead center means there, which is good because you use that for reattaching your chain. And oh, don't do that, that's not a good idea. And Christ, I need to find the other one of these. Okay, so plan for tonight, quite busy. Get the valves lapped in, so that means the valves here. Just want to make sure that these fit okay, and I'm going to use a little tool to get these valves lapped in, meaning that they've got they mate up nicely with this sealing face here, because these open and close when the engine goes up and down. So when the cylinder goes up, when the cylinder, Christ, I've got a blog post on it, I'm going to link you the blog post, but ultimately these need to open and close and allow stuff, fuel and air to come in to get combusted by the spark plug, which goes in here, and then that's the power stroke, and then on the way out the exhaust stroke, when the piston's coming back up again. The timing chain opens a lobe in the top here, which allows these to open up, pushes in on these and opens these up, so these would be the exhaust ports. And magic happens and the engine goes. So, Tech 101 for you on how engines work. Ordered a few more parts this morning. It's quite funny when you're under a bit of a time pressure. And the bike has to go apart in a certain order, go back together in a certain order. So I'm getting my bits back from the powder coater on Friday. I want the engine to go back in the frame. My bottom half of my forks have been modified, been vapor blasted. But before I do that, before I reassemble my forks, I don't want to put these back on because these look like turds. So I've ordered new ones of them. Didn't think about that, obviously. So they're coming from Germany, so that might delay me a little bit. I'm not pressed for time, but I'd like to start getting a move on with getting this bike back together. Issues with my wheels mean that I'll just be keeping the standard wheels, but it'd be nice to have a bike back together that I can roll in and out, and then just work on things like the electrics and fitting of mud guards and whatnot. So a few bits and pieces that need to get done. Getting this engine done and out of the way is a good start. So I'm gonna set up the camera like I did yesterday, try not to lose my shit too much, and yeah, unfortunately I'd like to take more time and explain all these things through, but I'm kind of shitting myself a bit for getting everything done for this show. So I'm going to press on with the cylinder head. I have another bike where there's a biggest bloody 3-cylinder engine underneath that workbench. So I think what I'll probably do is spend a little more time on that. But yeah, cylinder head. I'm gonna go lap these valves, take some vids, take some pictures, and yeah, enjoy me working at 100 times faster than what I am actually working at. Cheers. Much better. Oh. So annoyingly, if I can just show you, these are your valve spring seats. But if we play spot the difference really quickly, we'll notice that one is not here. Awesome! I think what I'm going to do is I've got an old cylinder head that's a very long story, but I'm going to quickly take this off and get the valve stem seat, the valve spring seat out of this, and then I'll buy another one for that, and just hopefully I can get this sorted. Hopefully the same. They should be the same. So. Okay, so I have this thing that I need, which is handy. Okay, I want. Yours. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't be kneeling on the floor. So I'm going to use my spring compressor, this tool here, to compress the springs over the valves. The top of the valves actually have a little area that allows you to put these little collets in. Right, so it looks like this, and then these little these little collets go either side, so goes like that, goes like that. And these collets go into this, which has got a bit of a profile on it. So I'll show you. So that goes like this. This goes like that. Bollocks. That goes like this. And then this slides up. And the spring, the force of the spring underneath here keeps these in place, but still allows movement in the valve. But I won't be able to do that because it's not held in situ. Okay, bollocks. So it just holds it in place. Alright, we're gonna put the cylinder head back onto the engine. So I think I've explained the story before, but this engine has been plagued with issues, and my misunderstanding of Yamaha's needlessly complex minor changes in their engine system meant that it's taken me a good few parts to buy to get to this stage. So I've had it before where I bought a new cylinder block, but that didn't match my existing cylinder head, so then I bought a new cylinder head. I had to buy a new piston for the new cylinder block, so it's quite nice just to start seeing this Franken engine go back together and not end up on the floor getting set on fire. It still might. So now I'm just gonna get this put back on. The cylinder head was more than a little awkward to get together. I don't know why I turned the video off, but I got better at these as I went along. But I don't need to do anything more really from the cylinder head side. Get whatever shit that is out. I'm going to give this a quick wipe, and then I will get the gasket on, the cylinder head gasket. I've got my 5 pound O-ring in there. I might set that at top dead centre actually. Maybe that'd be an idea. That's a two-handed job. So right, I'm going to set the camera up and we'll get the wheels in motion with this.
Okay, that was a kind of nerve-wracking 10 minutes just from previous experience, but all of those have sealed up nicely now, so I've got the torque that I need to get to. I'm going to double check it again, but I think we're good to go with that cylinder head. So the next thing is just to get the camshaft back in, rocker cover on, and I think that's pretty much good to go. So it's 9:30, I can't really be asked anymore. I'll double check these and then I think I am going to go in for the night. Cheers.